Dang, I think we're live. Whoops. All right. How'd that happen like that? All right. So, waiting for Trinidad to come in. Doing the Zoom thing. So we'll give this a shot. I figure if the sunglasses are cool enough for Mookie Betts, they're good enough for me. However, I don't have bifocal sunglasses, so I can't read anything. All right. So switching to my bifocals as we wait for Trinidad. He'll be on soon. Hopefully this is working out. Hit me up in the chat with make sure things are coming in okay. No one's out there yet, so maybe one person's out there. Yeah, if you can. All right. So still waiting for him. Hope everyone's doing well. I was gone for the week. Just to get things started, we just published Kendall George's first interview in the Dodger realm. That's Steve Douglas was able to chat with him today, and we have that up tonight. It's only a couple minutes, so take a look at it after this. Maybe you can look at it even during. But thanks to Steve for getting that out there. Really appreciate his work. Yeah, he's amazing, and he's a real pro. And I think he should change his handle though to like the shirtless broadcaster. He's done that stuff before, but he's cool guy. Let's see. Hey, can you hear me? That's the main thing. I'm still waiting for Trinidad to come on. Haven't heard anything from him. But we're going to talk about a few things today. First of all, we definitely had a great game from Dodger prospects. With we had Gavin Stone do well, and we had James Outman do well. We also have some minor league stories coming to talk about. It's always good. I'm going to actually do a share screen so that we can see what really is important, which is all the good information. Oops, did I lose something there? Hopefully not. That might have been a bad decision there. There we go. I'm back. Let me move that over here. I'm going to do a share screen to our home page. Let's see. There it is, share screen. And let's see. There it is. Google Chrome there. Hopefully y'all can see that. Dang. Kind of messes up my window, doesn't it? What's being shown. That's not good. Fudge. Let's see if I could fix that. Stop the share. Oh, man, terrible. Well, maybe we won't share screens. Still waiting for Trinidad to come out. I'm gonna get started a bit here. We have. Let's see. Well, maybe I can pull this off. Let's see. Try that again. Share the screen. Desktop 2. Let's try that. And I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't think you can. So that's not good. Stop the share. All right. So let's talk about what we saw today. Gavin Stone went 6+ innings. Yeah, he did give up 3 home runs. The first home run, let's be honest, kind of a joke. That's just that ballpark's definitely runs a little bit different than normal ballparks. You have a place where the where it just, I don't know. I don't know how you say it. It what was it? A 310-foot home run that with a launch angle of, I think it was 43 degrees, and and like 97 maybe miles an hour off the bat, and it just barely made it. Made it up that what's it called? Green monster. Not a fan of things like that, but it's an interesting ballpark, and so it's definitely a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. Let's see. Oh, Trinidad, where are you at, my man? So we had that, and so Gavin then gave up those home runs, his last two, really almost like his last two pitches, pretty much, to JT, Justin Turner, and Adam Duvall gave up home runs there. What I'm not seeing also is he chat. Okay, thank you. You can hear us. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing something different with Zoom here and waiting for Trinidad Loaiza. He's going to be coming in soon, hopefully. Make sure that email did get sent to him properly. Sorry, folks. Let's see. Yep. So we should be getting that. He should be in soon. And then, so we had Gavin. I think he looked really good, giving 6+ innings. People are going, well, he shouldn't have gone the rest of that and all that. Okay, whatever. I agree. So hepatitis C later is out. All right. Dave wanted to save the bullpen. Yes, I agree. Left Gavin out a little too long. Yep, but he pitched well. Exactly. He had it. That's his best outing. I'm going to just take, that weirdo Fenway home run. That's a home run only in Fenway. And then those other last two were, kind of two of his last pitches. But giving up 4 runs in 6 innings. I think it was 2 punches and then no walks. Big changes for him. So that's really exciting to see. And, we want to see more of that from him. And I think we will. And then Outman, with the Chase Utley looking follow through, hit another home run. James is doing well. He's holding it down. He plays against all pitching pretty much. They do sit him down periodically, but not that much. They replaced Peralta and Hayward pretty early. Something went down. Let's see. There we are. They went down for when they brought the lefty in, but they left James Outman in. Sorry about that. Again, catching back up. I was gone visiting my sons. Had 3 nights in Orlando, Florida, where my son works at Disney World, and then 3 nights in the Austin area of Texas, where my other son moved out there in last November. So it's our way of going out. My youngest, his birthday was on 21st, same day as Ryan Pepio, by the way. They're only a year apart. And then, so I was out, definitely busy doing that, trying to follow the games as much as I could. A little rough to follow some of that stuff. Just I'm on my phone, like we're at the drag races and all that stuff. But and then so let's talk about some other stuff that's happened. Yesterday, Josue DePaula hit a grand slam. Nick Frasso was promoted and was sent up to AAA and had a really good start. Let's see, okay. All right, Trinidad's coming on now. So Frasso was really good at AAA, and then no surprise, he's been really good all year. I think he went 6 innings. Thought I had that bookmarked. Let's see, where was it? Yeah. So Frasso, in his AAA debut, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. All day, every day, we will take that. Boy, it looks like this Zoom's gone on for quite a while. Let's see. So we got Frosso doing that. And then, shoot. And then we had, Dalton Rushing's been coming back. He's been hitting home runs. If you know, there we go, Trinidad's coming in. If you know, been following, he's had issues with concussions, but I think he's had 3 home runs in the last few games. Let's see, Trinidad, you out there? He's still dialing in. So Rushing's been coming around. Diego Cartaya has been doing really well. So that's good to see. There he is. Hey, man, we're live, man. Can you hear me? There he is, coming up to audio.
All right.
There he is. Yeah, we're live, dude.
What's going on, guys?
We are on the internet machine. Yeah, man. Just catching people up on some stuff. We talked briefly just about Stone, and then a little bit about Outman, and talked about Frosso. I don't know if you heard Frosso pitched today in AAA.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Dalton Rushing's been coming around, been doing better. It seems like he's probably recovered from his concussion. Diego's been doing better. Josue hit that grand slam. Whoa, check it out. What's the last game you went to?
For Dodger game or Rancho?
Yeah, Rancho.
Just yesterday. I was just there last night, actually, to be honest with you.
Were you there for the grand slam then?
I was not, actually.
When was that? Was that Friday then?
That was Friday, actually. Yesterday they lost 5-2.
Dang. I was. Oh, now I know why. I was on a freaking plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Who pitched last night?
It was Roque Gutierrez.
Yeah. But
battled a little bit. He battled a little bit. Had a little bit of command issues, but other than that, he battled through. I mean, his defense was a little rocky last night as well too. Okay. I think they had like a couple errors, I want to say.
Yeah. Okay. Did are they? I'm assuming they're still rolling out the draft picks.
Oh yeah, they just had what's his name, the number 1 draft pick yesterday, Kendall George.
Yep.
He got called up. He was there last night actually.
Did he actually play?
He did. He started center field.
Okay, cool. I know our own Steve Douglas interviewed him today. So
really? Okay.
We just put that up about 6:00 tonight. And then let's see. Did you see? So the first baseman. Oh, what's his name? Joe
Bertrano.
Yeah, dude's a house.
That guy can rake. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he's a big boy and just hits the. Looks like he might be a good one. It doesn't. To me, he reminds me of Rizzo. You know, the Cub Yankee guy.
Oh, Anthony Rizzo?
Yeah, Anthony. I keep wanting to say Joe, but it's Anthony. Yeah. But yeah. Let's see. Oh man, my stream is way behind. It looks like
his batting stance. It reminds me a little bit of Dalton.
Does it? Okay.
A little bit. Just the way he makes hard contact. Just from when I remember him playing in Rancho, he makes hard contact on the ball.
Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah. I mean, I saw him. I saw him one game, and I thought he looked really, really strong. I know he's still only got. I think he's only got. Is he still at 1 home run? I think.
Yeah, he had the inside the park home run, which I was there for that one. That was against. It was against Inland Empire. I want to say it was something like that.
Okay. And then,
but
who was playing short? Was it Mangelli or Thompson?
No, it was Mangelli, and then you had Jose Izarra at second, and then you also had Wilman Diaz at third.
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, I saw that Wilman was at third. Did he get any action over there?
He did actually. One of them was he made I think like 2-3 good plays. Okay. I think there was one play where he threw the ball away at first, but
yeah,
he was way off balance. I mean, it looked like it kind of reminded me. I don't know. Remember when that video went viral with Machado when he was still with the Orioles when he threw out that guy with a barehanded catch from the foul line?
Yeah.
something similar to that, but
Okay.
his throw was just way offline.
Because I've never knew Willman playing third.
I think they're trying him out now.
They have
I think
to.
that's what we heard.
I mean, his bat's been. I think it's probably slowed down a little bit, but I think he's been pretty darn good. Um,
I think he was 0 for 4 yesterday with like 2 strikeouts or something like that.
yeah, was Donkey got put on the injured list though? I think Rain
Yeah, he was
dumped
out.
him.
Yes, he didn't play yesterday. He didn't. He wasn't playing tonight either. I didn't even get a chance to see him actually, so I got there kind of late. I think I got there a little bit right before first pitch,
Okay.
so I wasn't able to interact with the guys or talk to them a little bit before the game started.
Okay. That's a bummer because yeah, we get some good insight from that stuff, don't we?
Yeah,
And then last I checked, Lorenzo Tehran was at 20 home runs. Did he get any more? Like I
no,
said,
he was still at 20.
okay, because yeah, I've been just missed so much being out a week, and just not having. My time was all jacked up, man, because that's 3 hours ahead, then 2 hours ahead, and then spending time with my kids instead of following too much baseball. Even though I did have Dodger game, in the corner there.
Right.
Who followed Gutierrez on the mound?
It was Brendan Neek.
Okay, the lefty.
The, so the majority of the relievers that came in after that were all lefties. I think McDaniels pitched,
Oh, okay.
and it was Brandon Eek, McDaniels, and then it was Madison Jeffrey to come in the ninth.
Okay. How did Neek look?
He it almost seemed like everybody last night battled a little bit with some command issues.
Okay.
But I mean, it's towards the end of the season. Well, I mean, not so much with Brandon Eek because he just got called up not so long ago.
Right.
But it looked like a lot of these guys are starting to show a little bit more fatigue.
Yeah. I saw Neek, and he looked. He punched out the side when I saw him, but what I did see that I thought was interesting. I thought there was kind of like Ronan Kopp was some Bumgarner in there, with hiding the
The sidearm,
ball. Well, just yeah, but hiding the ball, right? Remember,
right?
Bumgarner would get that arm way back and then bring it way around, and that's what I kind of
Right.
saw from him also. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of some of the things I saw. I really wish our radar gun was good.
Working.
Yeah, it's just tragic, man. And then you're gonna go to the game on Thursday, the Dodger game.
Yes, I'll be there Thursday for the Dodger game.
I wonder if that's gonna be Julio. It might. Um,
I know they
tomorrow,
threw in today was who was it? It was Caleb Ferguson and Gavin Stone went in
yeah,
for 4 or 5 innings.
he went 6+.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was good. He gave up a cheesy home run that it was a Fenway home run.
Oh yeah, Tristan Casas, the lefty.
Yeah, that that's out of one park. And then his last two batters was Justin Turner and then Adam Duvall. They both took him pretty deep, and then he was pulled. But that was at after a good solid 6. So no
I think I
walk.
did see the
Yeah.
majority of the game. He was inducing a lot of ground balls finally,
Uh
which
huh.
was what we expect from him actually with that changeup now.
Right. And then I heard in the post game he's starting to work more on his slider.
I have been hearing that.
I'm hoping. So I haven't talked about it yet, but I already texted you this. But I have a media pass for the Dodger game on Wednesday, and I'm hoping Stone is still with the team because I want to talk to him about that. You
Is
know.
he sorry, is it a day game on Wednesday?
No, it's a night game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know because I usually only get the day games.
No, I was just asking because usually around this time, even though it's already
Yeah.
the end of summer, usually Wednesday games are now day games.
Yeah, in last year it was like that, but this year, I don't see any more day games,
Day game.
or except on Sunday, of course. But yeah, so I want to talk to Stone about that, and then I know why you're going Thursday. The bobblehead.
Yeah, well, we got tickets, free tickets, so
The
can't say no to
bobblehead. You
that.
see what the bobblehead is?
Yeah, the duo, James
Yeah,
Outman and Miguel Vargas.
that's cool, man. Hey, steal me one. No, I mean, get me one.
I got you.
If you ever could,
We'll probably
if you could find an extra, man, please. I'd love to
Yeah, I
get
got
that one.
you.
Yeah, and then let's see. So and then Outman got the Dodgers on the board with the home
With the
run
home run.
in the fourth inning. Um, and then let's see. And it was actually brought up, but both Doug McCain and I have been talking about this. Doesn't I mean that follow through of Outman is Chase Utley.
Yeah,
It's like it
I think
ends almost prematurely.
it almost ends like a half swing.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's working. For Utley, it's going to hopefully get him to the Hall of Fame. And
Well, Utley had a standout career when he was in Philadelphia. So
yeah, he was so good, man. Um, and I even mentioned that Outman wasn't he didn't get pulled out. Both Hayward and Peralta did, and they're playing Outman. He's playing a good outfield. I think he doesn't. I mean I don't know about what you're seeing, but his reads look a lot better.
they've gotten a lot better. I remember, I think it was not that far in the beginning of the season where he was having misreads off the wall and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But now he's starting to actually pick up how to play balls off the wall. If he knows he can't get them, just let it bounce off the wall and let them come to him.
Right. That's what it looks
Which
like. Yeah,
even a lot of outfielders right now. I know in Rancho I started noticing a lot of guys that are playing the infield are now playing the outfield,
they
and
are.
a lot of their struggles are getting rating the ball off the wall or them
Mm-hmm.
pretty much rating the ball off the bat. So I mean, with that, it just takes time. But with Outman obviously being a all around outfielder, I mean, it was going to come naturally now.
Yeah, I mean we know that he's a great athlete. And then Rancho only has I think 2 more weeks left of the regular season. I think
Yeah,
they
they're in
go.
Lake Elsinore.
Is it no? Well, no, no, no. I thought it was. Shoot, I thought it was. I thought they went to Stockton.
No, I think it's Lake Elsinore, and then they finish here against Visalia.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll probably be at that Sunday game. They're playing Lake Elsinore right now. No, they're at Stockton on Tuesday.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
never
yeah,
mind then.
yeah. And then Visalia, they come home for Visalia. I think we should get. Hey, people, go out to Rancho. Let's see. Go out to Rancho on that Sunday. Let's get some people out there. That's the last regular season game. That's at 2 p.m. And I know you usually go Saturday, so that'll be at 6:30. Maybe I'll come out to that one. And then the
I'll be there for
playoffs.
sure the last 2 days of the season. I'll be there for sure the last weekend.
Yeah, cool. Then the playoffs start on Tuesday the 12th. That's a Tuesday, and
That's gonna be
that's
that's where
at
it's gonna be a
TBD.
struggle, right?
Yeah,
So they're still saying they're gonna. Well, I was talking to somebody in the Rancho
yeah. The realm.
office, and they're still figuring out because I guess now I think the way they're doing it this year as well with the standings and stuff like that, I think they're gonna go off not just record or something like that, but who gets home field advantage now. Kind of like how they do with in the
Mm-hmm.
MLB, like
Good,
who had the better record and all that
good,
stuff. So now they're gonna go through that.
good. Yeah, that's good. It'll be interesting to see how they're ready for the playoffs. Let's see. We got a question from Hepatitis See you later. Hepatitis See you later. Will the Shohei injury make the Dodgers reconsider going all in for him? Let's
Oh, is that a
talk.
question to
Let's
us?
talk about Shohei because I was,
You want to hear
I
my
couldn't
full on
go on.
opinion?
Let's hear Trinidad Loaiza's take, man. Let's hear it, man. What do you got? What are you thinking?
we're still we're still going all in. I'm not gonna second guess what Dodgers are gonna go with, but I will say this though, it's been all over MLB Network, and they're all saying he's not gonna. Whoever signs him, which I know for a fact, we know for a fact he's gonna be probably the Dodgers going after him, but the Dodgers are gonna be more precautious in letting him know you're not gonna be a two-way player for long.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be either you decide just to DH and probably put him back in the outfield like how they were in the beginning with the Angels, like putting him in right field. But at the end of the day, it's either just DHing, but pitching is not going to happen anytime soon. And the reason I say that is because 2 Tommy John surgeries,
Yeah.
and if you really think about it, this year he's had a lot of injuries. Even the slightest thing can really break down a player, especially if you two-way play.
Yeah. He's not getting. He's not getting. His body's not getting the rest that it needs.
And if you really think about it, I think where it all began was when he got that complete one hitter in Detroit, and he
Oh
came in from
yeah.
the double header, and he felt the cramps in his side too. I think that's where it started showing where's the tear in his body too.
Yeah. What someone and I kind of like this idea. Maybe this is something to consider. To go, okay, he still DHs, but then he's also a closer.
I could see that as a closer. I wouldn't mind having him close. But the
Be-
problem is, I mean, but it's gonna come down to him wanting to do that because
Yeah,
in his mind he wants to start and he wants to hit.
I was reading some stuff that you know that the Angels were monitoring him or basically running the show with him through 2020 and then 2021 and 2022 and now he took over and it's on kind of his program. Um,
Right.
yeah, see, here's something from Hepatitis C later. Angels overworked him. Amen. On the Dodgers, he would never have to carry all the load. That is true. I do think though that the two Tommy John thing is a huge thing. I mean, I
I
personally
mean,
I personally believe Dustin May's toast as a starter. I
he's
believe,
gonna be tough as a starter, and then we
yeah.
know Walker Bueller as well as another guy. But
If
I mean,
it,
Walker
yeah,
Bueller's pretty much gone through it already. But then again, he could probably go back into the bullpen too.
if anyone can start after two Tommy Johns, it is Bueller. But I think
Maybe
I think he's an exception. I mean,
that is true.
May's such a tall, long and lean dude, right?
His
Walker,
mechanics remind me of Jared Weaver almost.
yeah. I just think that I think they're a mess. Dustin's.
Yeah,
Bueller's got more of it's tighter, but so the thing about Bueller is he's a really really smart dude. And one of the things that I was kind of overlooked was as he's going through this rehab again, he's also trying to find what happened. Why did this happen again? Versus Dustin May, who made no mechanical changes, even though his mechanics are a disaster. And I know he's controversial, but there's that one pitching ninja, not ninja, someone else was going, this guy is saying from the beginning, this guy's going to break. And I could see it because, all that arm action he's got and getting all that velocity out of, 120 pounds or however much May weighs. I mean, it was bound to happen. But
well, I mean,
Bueller's trying to at least make changes.
the day that I saw him pitch when he broke down, Dustin May when he broke down, because I was there at the game when he came out with the elbow injury. I went back on highlights and things like that. But if you really notice, every time he releases the ball, it almost seems like he's trying to push his weight all forward and put stress on his arm, so that what flings his elbow a lot, and he opens out a lot. And if you notice, when they try to work with your mechanics, they always tell the pitcher to close up his shoulder, I guess, his front shoulder away from the arm.
Yeah.
So his whole arm is just flinging out and it's exposing the elbow. So that's why he kind of throws sidearm.
Yeah.
Because he's using all wrist and arm at the end of his follow through.
Right. I mean that's how he gets that that crazy action he gets, but it's got him to a point, right? It got him to be a pretty darn good major league pitcher.
Right.
But I just don't think it's sustainable. I think that I think he's toast. I think Bueller has a better shot at being a starter. We already know Gonsolin's got something really wrong, and no surprise, right? We've all been going, every year he's been hurt. He's always kind of done by September, and then his just decline this year was drastic. I mean, he went from being a pretty darn good pitcher in the for his first few starts to being just terrible.
Right.
I mean,
but also too, going back to the Shohei topic, I think what also doesn't help out is that he's always trying to kill the ball too.
Yeah. I mean, and big men don't last very long.
And if you really think about it, now Shohei, instead of just going the opposite way on his swing, he's trying to pull everything, and it just seems like he's trying to swing violently to the ball. He's trying to kill the ball.
Well, he needs to take lessons from our new number 5, man, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
How beautiful is he? I mean,
what is a set the franchise record now for doubles?
Yeah, for Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah. Is May a multi-inning long reliever or strictly 1 or 2 inning guy? I think it's more of a 1 or 2 inning guy. I think he could be a closer. But again, you just gotta. What fixes is he gonna make to get better? And will those fixes reduce his what's it called? His effectiveness? But
His velocity will go down for sure. His
yeah,
velocity will go down.
and I think the movement goes down too.
Right.
I
Unless he
mean,
finds some kind of way to make the ball move like a Greg Maddux kind.
that's true. Or he's got to find some better sticky stuff. Um, because I mean, it's the legendary video of him, striking out Manny on a pitch that moves inside like 2 feet. I mean, it starts over the plate, and Manny's, swinging at it and just looking foolish. And as we know, and I love to make fun of Manny Machado. Dude's a great player, great hitter, really good hitter of water coolers today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think he had like a bad game or something like that. He just started swinging at the cooler.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad games. Padres, man, they have the same record as the Nationals. How ironic is that?
It's crazy. Right now, it's showing how the second half of the season really matters. Now, look at the Mariners taking sole possession of first place now instead of the Rangers.
I love that. I love them. Well, and I have nothing against the Rangers. In fact, I was pretty pissed off. I was in a mall in Texas, and they had other Rangers jerseys, but no Corey Seager jerseys. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Corey Seager, Corey Mr. Steal Your Girl Seager doesn't have a jersey out there. Um, but yeah, the Mariners, man, what a story. I got a interest there because of a good friend of mine is a Mariners fan. He lives up there. Let's see. Okay, here's a really good question. Will the UCL injury impair Shohei's offense and his swing?
That's another topic right now that everybody's talking about. Should he just shut it down for the rest of the season, or should he just continue hitting? But could be because that's his leading hand too, his throwing hand. So it could damage
Yeah.
it more down the road.
Right, I'm kind of going through
And
a
if you
lefty
notice
swing.
too,
Yeah.
and if you start, if you and whoever gave that question it's a really good question because if you started noticing, if you really watch him play now or swing the bat now, he's starting just to go one-handed now instead of using both hands to the ball.
Well, I think you would recall with Bryce Harper, right? When he went down, and because he had his Tommy John surgery. When did he have that? It was pretty recent.
He had it. He had it at the
After the playoffs, right?
Or something like that, or
Whoa.
during the playoffs.
Oh, I just killed my system. Give me a second here. Holy smokes, I did something terrible. What did I just do? Holy smokes. Sorry, everybody. Oh my gosh, I just shorted out some stuff. No joke, man. We can keep talking, it looks kind of silly right now. Wow. What the heck?
We're trying to see Tim's Moneyball picture, guys. Don't worry about
it. Holy smokes. What did I do? But people can still hear us, though, so that's good. Man, that went bad. I was just trying to plug in a little thing that I didn't even need it. That was the thing. Because, whenever I leave, I go on vacation or something, I always tear some stuff down. Oop. Are we back? Oh, crap. There we go. Can you say something?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Just a picture that hasn't popped up yet.
Okay.
I just see like a picture, like a black and white picture of you.
Yeah. There we go. There's my monitor. Now I just got to find my Zoom window of me and back to my video.
There we go.
Whoa. let me get my preferences going here. Bless you.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Video is correct. Yeah, I still got to get better at this stuff here. Ooh. Oh, no wonder, because I got all my lights out is the problem. There we go. Hey! Jeez. Lord. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging in there. It was technical difficulties. But yeah, we were talking about that the swing, Shohei's swing and the impact,
Right,
and then Harper. Well, even remember when when the Dodgers made the Nick Punto trade, they got Carl Crawford, who had
right.
had Tommy John surgery, and I can't remember, he had it like in July, and so he was able to come back by the season. But right now, I would think that Shohei is whoa. I think Shohei might have an issue.
I think it just sets him back even more too. Is if he were to have the surgery after the season, how long is it going to take for him to come back next season?
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, so you're the Dodgers. And Shohei's going, I want $45 million or whatever, 50 million, 100 million, whatever it is. Well, we get him in June, July.
Depending how fast he gets his recovery.
Yeah, and he can't even pitch. And
I
that's
mean,
just a hitter.
It's just a no doubter. He's not going to pitch next season. It's
Yeah.
already a no doubter. No, any team who signs him, he's not going to pitch next season.
We also want, even if we're going to sign him, I'd like to have his offense. And I look at it this way: Angels are not playing for anything, and I'm sure Shohei's being a good dude about this. I think, so I'll give him credit there. But I think you got to be a little bit selfish here.
Well, that's the thing, though. They just ran him out there to break him down already. That's what it was.
Yeah, and
they promised him they weren't going to trade him and make all these trades to get him in the playoffs, and it didn't work out. Lucas Giolito ain't living up to his expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what's his name too, Reynaldo Lopez, the other reliever they got. Yep. Yeah, I mean, every now and then he'll break down too. Put
those guys on the Dodgers, man. I bet they're a lot better than they. I bet if you put Lance Lynn on the Angels and Giolito on the Dodgers, there's some better. I bet Giolito's better.
Oh yeah, definitely. But in reality, though, Dodgers knew they weren't going to match what the Angels gave up for him. Number 1 and 2 prospects. Jeez. You're not going to give up that for them.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Nastrini hurt, but the Dodgers were dealing from strength there. Nastrini's doing really well in the White Sox organization. I
have seen that.
Yeah, and good for him. I mean, he's almost a friend of the show. He used to be almost a neighbor of mine. Let's see. This is a good one here. Instead of a 12-year deal, Dodgers would probably use the UCL injury to try to get him on a 6 or 7-year deal with opt-outs. Yeah, it's going to be something like that, and some with some incentives about how much he pitches. I look at it this way. Shohei is a freak, and in many ways, obviously a freak as a baseball player, but also as a freak as a marketer. One of the reasons I'm like applying for as many of the media passes for the rest of the season as I can, because I'm going to be honest with you, if the Dodgers sign Shohei Ohtani, I will never get a media pass again with the Dodgers, because there's going to be 100 Japanese people or Japanese reporters trying to get in. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. I lost him. Well, we'll keep going. Let me text him. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, you lose. I mean, I'll lose because there's gonna be so many. And it's a cool thing. Dodgers are gonna go, we're gonna make an extra $1 jillion by having Shohei Ohtani. That's the bottom line. He's gonna go and be the marketing king. The Dodgers are already popular in Japan because of back in the day, a gentleman named Hideo Nomo. Just about all of Japan would stay up and watch his starts for the Dodgers. So they have a lot of Dodger fans there. Ohtani on the Dodgers would be just a monster thing. Everyone would want to go. Let's see. Here he goes. Yeah. Trinidad's phone overheated. Yeah, it gets pretty hot with the video and everything like that. So you'd have Shohei just on that marketing alone will be worth it. Dodgers will more than make up for it. then you have then you got to figure it out. What are you gonna do? I guess he's a DH, no matter what next year because of the arm injury. Let's see. When it comes to the Lance Lynn trade, did the Dodgers give up the wrong Tulsa pitcher? Would you have traded Nastrini, or would you rather traded Ryan or Frasso instead? I really wanted to keep Nastrini. I think physically, in terms of his size, he has a really good upside. I think all these guys do. I mean, I think Nastrini might, at the end of the day, might have more opportunity to be a starter. But Frasso, today just had 6 innings. I've kind of been wondering because he usually goes like 4 or 5. Ryan is he's a fresh arm learning how to pitch. My concern with him, of course, is these guys are all of a sudden becoming pitchers and they get hurt, and so I don't want to see him get hurt. I like River personally because I've met him and quite a few times when he was with Rancho. Really good guy, and got a great young little family he's got going on there. And so root for him too. Root for all these guys. I mean, I haven't met Frost. I saw him pitch in spring training, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. He's like I said, the right-handed Alex Wood. Here we go. He's coming back on, and then yeah. So I think it just hurts to make a trade like that anyway. So Trinidad, the question was, and it's a good one. When it comes to the Lance Lynn trade. Did the Dodgers give up the wrong Tulsa pitcher? Would you have traded Nastrini, or would you rather have traded Ryan or Frasso? So I was just kind of going on their strengths, weaknesses, and stuff, and I think not all of them would have hurt.
Any of them would have hurt, but I think Dodgers just went. I think they ended up keying Ryan Pepiot as well, just for the fact that he's already got some MLB experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they probably got some faith in him. I mean, the way that they were working with him, I guess, and how to use his pitching. His pitches a little bit more differently. I mean, kind of the way they're doing with Lance Lynn.
Yeah, and so, let's talk Pepiot. So walks are way down.
Right.
He's getting that slider over. At least the pitches are they're at least not looking like a ball coming out of the hand.
Right.
If you remember last year, all those changeups were missing in. And then the sliders were missing way out. So now he's really tightened it up.
I mean, we already knew he had a devastating changeup, that's for sure.
Yep.
It was just finding a way how to get his release point to where it would come out in the strike zone and hitters would think it's a strike and then swing at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like they were saying, hey, it's got to be a strike out of the hand. It can't be,
right.
Yeah, Pepiot looks really strong and fresh. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a comment. And that was one of the things we talked about earlier. That I talked about quite a bit on the show. Was we've had all sorts of injuries with the staff, but kind of a blessing was Pepiot. Him being out. I mean, really, he didn't start working out or start pitching until July. He's a fresh arm.
Right. So, I mean, he's one of the freshest arms we have right now at this point. I mean, Gavin Stone as well, too. But, I mean, he's been in the minors pitching already. But he's been, like you say, he's probably been working on his slider and mixing up his pitches as well, too.
Yeah. Then we got Bobby Miller's pitching tomorrow. I was kind of hoping to get approved for that game, but I didn't. But at least I got Wednesday, which is, like I said, probably Lance Lynn. But you never know. Maybe it'll be Pepiot. Maybe they'll go with a 6-man rotation for a couple rounds. But Bobby Miller, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, geez, the dude's been better than advertised.
Right.
Man.
That guy's been dogging it out all season since he's been up on the rotation already.
Yeah, I know people get pissed off when he gets pulled early, but I think you have to. I think you gotta. I mean, he's pitching. He's gonna be pitching way beyond his previous highs.
Right.
I mean, I'm going. He's going 4 or 5, and that's it, man. Bring on Brian Yarbrough, whatever.
Oh yeah, that's another guy that we have that's been really good for us too, and he's only throwing like maybe high school pitching almost, but he's been legit, honestly.
Yeah, 86, whatever is coming in at, but yeah, he's able to spot it. Really dot those locations, and plus he's just that he's a compared to all the rest of the guys, he's kind of a weirdo in terms of his mechanics.
Yeah, and it's crazy though because I saw him throw a bullpen on. Oh man, what day did I go? That he was throwing like a bullpen. I think it was a Sunday game too,
Yeah.
and he was. I mean, he wasn't throwing hard or anything, but he was just work. I guess he was working with Mark Pryor in the bullpen, and he was just showing him how to like his release point and stuff like that. It was just like on spot everything he was throwing.
Yeah. And it's just good to have someone that could come in and throw some strikes, and to use in a different role. I mean, I would, to put it this way, don't be surprised if he gets a playoff start.
Oh,
Even
I
if
wouldn't doubt either.
even if it's 3 innings or something like that.
I see him more like a game 4 starter or even a game 3 starter if the Dodgers are up in the series,
Yeah.
just to give the rotation a rest.
Right. Yeah, because it's going to be, well, it looks like they're going to get a bye. They should, unless
Right.
they really pull a September of 2017 thing where they lost all those games. But, uh, the, you know, well, first and foremost, Julio Urias should not pitch on the road in the playoffs at all. He's got an
Yeah.
ERA of over 7 on the road.
If you don't count the bubble.
No, well, no, I mean, I'm just talking about during this year.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like overall in the playoffs.
No, 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 no. His overall this year, he's been terrible on the road. So I just think you cannot. Hey, Austin Brubaker's out in the house. All right. Hey, good evening, Austin. I just think you cannot pitch that guy on the road during the playoffs. So games 1 and 2, yeah. So they'll be best of 5. So games 1 and 2 at Dodger Stadium, then 2 on the road, and then 1 at home if necessary. So I guess what, Kirsch and Julio, and then Lynn Miller, something like that, and then
I mean,
Julio.
you really think of. Well, this is what I saw they were going at. If it's a potential, what is it, 4-man roster? I mean, from 4-man rotation usually in the
Yeah,
first round.
it's
So I
gonna
would
be.
go. It automatically looks like it's going to be straight Kershaw, then it's going to be Julio, and then you're going to have to go with Lynn or Yarbrough if it comes down to it.
Yeah, and then Miller. You got Miller in there too.
Oh, and Bobby Miller, but I think I would use Bobby Miller as a secret weapon.
Yeah. I don't know if I mean, it'd be kind of weird to change him off. Let's see. Here's a question: should the Dodgers? Okay, it's a good one.
All right.
Should the Dodgers pass on Ohtani and pivot to Soto, or pivot to Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker class, which would be later? Have Bichette as the franchise shortstop. I don't hate that at all. But it could be, hopefully it's Gavin Lux. I really hope for Gavin, man. I don't know, especially I don't know if we all out there have seen Mookie Betts do his podcast, and he had just an amazing interview with Kike Hernandez. They were
Oh yeah, I did see that.
picking on Gavin because he got the dirty locker. But Luxy, man, I hope it's him.
What was the first part of that question?
No, I just
Will we pass up Ohtani?
should they pass on Ohtani and pivot to Soto? So it becomes so. First and foremost, let's get back to Soto for a second, who turned down.
14 years. I think it was like 400 something million.
Yeah, it was basically. I think it was actually 15 years, but it's 14 or 15 years at about 30 million a year from the Nationals.
Right.
And I don't know if he gets that.
He won't get it again. That's for sure. He won't get that again.
I mean, someone's going to overpay for him, and I mean, my worry about Soto is he is a DH, but so is Ohtani. And the reason I think Soto's a DH is because he's got that great Jock Peterson lower half going on.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right? No more. That means no more donuts. But I think Soto's a bad fielder. He's decent enough in left, I guess, but he's a terrible right fielder, even though he was a finalist for Gold Glove last year.
I mean, I think another reason for I would pass on Soto actually is not that he's not a great hitter, but I think you got to think about it too. How will he react in the clubhouse, though?
I know, Um,
That's one thing too, because we remember when he was like, I think they were interviewing him when the Angels were in town, and then he said something about Otani.
hmm. I think that well, let's be honest. There's something really wrong with that Padres team, and Soto's got. I mean, he's got to be part of that problem.
Well, not even that. There's no more homegrown kids on that team.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Tatis has an OPS of under 800. Um,
Hmm.
Machado's under 800, and those both those guys combined are making about 30 million. If on average 30 million a year, so they're taking 60 million of their cap. See,
Right.
Austin asked, how comfortable you guys in giving Otani biggest contract ever after this injury? Yeah, we've been talking about that a little bit. Yeah, are you more inclined now that his price is down a little? It is very, and he says very interesting. Yeah, man. I think that's going to be the topic until that guy signs, where we just back and forth and see what the Dodgers are up to. I do think though that if anyone can make a contract happen, it's the Dodgers, with the right incentives, stretching it out, whatever they got to. There's no one's going to be more creative than the Dodgers, even though some of these guys have been nice and creative with, I think the Padres and Phillies with the way they stretched out Turner and Bogarts. Foolishly, in my opinion, though, the way they did those, they way over. I mean, they're going to hate those contracts because neither one of those guys attracts Otani type fan base. And
That is true.
in the Japan, again, the Japanese thing, they're going to probably be able to get some type of huge broadcasting contract out for Japan to have access to those games. The merch, right? The Otani jerseys. You go to an Angels game, a third of them are Otani jerseys. He might not even be playing. And
That is true.
it's Japanese people with Otani jerseys. They're gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
That's their, and that's their, it's a national pride thing, and good for them. Be proud of them. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Vladdy Jr. is also an in to keep an eye on to give the slot if they don't give it to Otani. Yeah, I think there's a lot of options. I mean, straight up, who wouldn't want to play for the Dodgers? I mean, look what they do. Mookie Betts has become a better player with the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman is a better player.
That's true.
What? But it's true.
No, you got that right. I mean, maybe there's only one player maybe that wouldn't want to play for the Dodgers.
Who would that be?
I mean, the most hated guy from Houston was
Eh,
on Houston. Carlos
Re-
Correa, maybe.
yeah, Reddick.
Hmm.
Austin asks, okay, here we go. Here we go from Austin. Who are some of the guys that have impressed you most recently in Rancho? Well, I mean,
Ooh,
for me, I start right out with still Lorenzo with Aaron.
that's a good one.
I talked about him when I saw him in spring training. The thunder that comes out of the bat, you've heard it. It's
Mm.
there. You've got well, you were there yesterday. What's his name? Vetrano, the first
Joe
baseman.
Bertrano.
Yeah, big kid. Like I just he's a house. When he comes walking to it, he looks like a football player. He's just that.
Right.
He's a big dude. Um, let's see. What about Luis, man? Luis Rodriguez has been better.
He's actually making more contact now, which I'm actually
Hmm.
impressed with now. Now his swing has changed up a little bit. Now he's getting on base more.
Yeah,
He's not trying to go the long ball, I guess you could say.
yeah. And then for me also, it is Wilman Diaz. I've been very impressed with him. Austin, I don't know if you saw it, but Steve Douglas on our channel has a little quick interview with Kendall George, our first pick. So he's over
Okay.
there. And then shoot, there's been a lot of changes. I mean,
There's been a lot of changes, but are they asking like just one player perspective?
just
Who's
any of
impressive?
them, just anyone who's been interesting for us that we've
Mm,
seen.
I want to. Well, for me, it would have to be mostly a lot of the pitchers. Would
Yeah,
probably like for example. I mean, nobody talks about this guy a lot, and we talked about him early in before the season started. Joel Ibarra.
yeah,
who's been technically like the best pitcher on that squad because his ERA is just under 2, and he's been lights out with all
Mm-hmm.
these guys. Christian Romero, who's another one.
Christian, no, that's a really good point.
And then we got Roque Gutierrez, who's another good
Mm-hmm.
coming up kid. And then if you really want to go down further into the rotation or in the bullpen, we got what's his name? Uh, Liam Doolin.
Oh, the big Aussie.
Yeah, him. We have him, and then we also have Madison Jeffrey. Now he's starting to turn it around as well too.
So when you saw Madison yesterday, and I had never I said I was on a plane, so I never looked at his numbers. How was his command yesterday?
You know what? After the first hitter, I think he struck him out. Though after that, like he had some wild pitches in there, but
Mm-hmm.
after that, it was just like straight heat, and he was locating his fastball well. Because remember what happened last year? His fastball was just all over the place.
Yeah. So I did, now I'm remembering, last time I was there a couple weeks ago, I had a chance to chat with Madison. He was doing that thing, where they do the autographs off to the side.
Oh
And,
right.
yeah, and so he was doing, and I said, hey man, I noticed your command, everything's, your walks are down, everything like that. And he goes, yeah man, it's a super minor tweak. And I asked him, I said, could I even see it? If would I notice it with my naked eye? And he goes, nah. So it's something very small of just, I can't even remember what it was, and they can't give away the store, right? But
Right.
yeah, he because the guy's pumping 98 to 100.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and he hit the night before when I talked to him the night before he had hit 100 in the game. So
Yeah. See, that's the thing with these cats. They know how to bring it. That's for sure.
mm-hmm.
But as to you were saying though, with Christian Romero, he's been another one coming out of that rotation that's been really, really good too.
Solid man, all year, really solid.
So I mean, if you really throw in a lot of these pitchers we have, like you said, we got Joel, who's been I think nothing but consistent all year round. We have Christian Romero, who had a few rocky starts, but now he's turning it around as well
Mm-hmm.
too. I
Here's
mean,
here's another question. This is a good one. I was actually thinking about this. Um, which of the Rancho guys do you think could be called up for the next 2 weeks, like they did last year with Dalton and a couple others? Um, where'd you go? There you are. For the Great Lakes postseason run, or do you think they will keep everyone there for Rancho's postseason run? I think that's a great question. I think,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? Kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
stumbled a little bit.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So, which of the Rancho guys do you think could be called up in the next 2 weeks for a Great Lakes postseason run, or do you think they will keep everyone there for Rancho's postseason run? Remember, last year Rancho didn't make the postseason, and so
Right, they
remember
did.
they brought up Dalton and Jake Vogel. Um, you know what? If they're gonna bring up anyone, I do think it would be Joel Ibarra.
They probably just to get another pitcher pinching arm in there.
Mm-hmm. And I think,
Maybe Joe Vertrano if he keeps raking. Maybe.
yeah, but I think they might keep him down. What about Campos, Christopher Campos?
You know what? I wouldn't doubt if he goes too. But another
Mm-hmm.
thing with him, he's struggled a little bit towards the end of the season as
Yeah,
well. His numbers are kind of gone down a little bit.
it's his first year pitching full time.
No, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, he was starting off hot there in the beginning of the season.
He
Now
was
he's starting to like
really
show
good.
like signs. Yeah, now he's starting to show signs of fatigue as well too. That's what I mean. Like right now, they're just
Yeah,
starting to show signs of fatigue.
and then there is Jared Karros, who he started great, then he had like 3 or 4 stinkers, and then he's been better. It seems like, and
Hmm.
but he's recovering from injury from last year.
Right.
He didn't pitch that much, right?
I think it was like his shoulder or something like that. Was it or something around that?
Yeah, I don't know. They're vague about those things. Um,
Hmm.
and then, another guy that is a shoulder. Was Nevin. He
Oh
has,
yeah, Cal Nevin.
yeah. I mean, he had a really nice year, but that would have been a guy that would have deserved a call up. So, for guys that might get called up, it might. I'm not sure how many more draft picks are coming because Kendall George did come. He might be the last one. Oh,
which I was shocked they
yeah.
kept brought
So
up.
Austin's mentioning Ronaldo the apologist got called up. Yeah, he got called up to Double A. Um, I think Ibarra would
Oh,
be the
Ronaldo.
guy. I think,
I could just see maybe Ibarra right now at the moment.
and he really should be,
He
right?
should have been called up. I mean, to my knowledge, he should have been up
Yeah.
already since after the second half. I mean,
I was
before the second
shocked.
half.
I thought he'd been up by May or June, easy, easy.
Because we
Nothing to
remember,
prove.
like, yeah, well, remember we talked about it all season, the beginning of before the season started. We were saying that him, and who was the other pitcher we talked about also as well?
Yane, that's
Yeah,
my guy.
yeah, we were talking about those two probably coming in and then just shutting it down and leaving Rancho maybe within like a month or two.
Yeah, Yeen, he has gotten lit up a bit, a lot actually. I mean,
No, yeah,
but he's still the stuff's there. It's just I think it's just a pitch mix, and going. They can actually hit 102 sometimes. Um,
right.
let's see, Yon Castro is back in the dugout. Okay, so you guys have Yon, we have Fran.
No, yeah, Frank Fresca.
We have Fran Castro. Um, but to be honest, I mean Madison should be up there. This
Oh yeah,
is
man.
this is his second. If he doesn't get called up, it's his second full year.
That is true. He was with us last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Madison, I think either Madison or Joel are the dudes that would replace Ronaldo, De Paula. That makes sense.
Well, even this year with the call ups, it seems a little bit off because remember last season, almost majority of all the draft picks last season got called up. Remember it
Mm-hmm.
was Dalton, Kyle, then
There's a
you had
lot. Yeah.
Alex Freeland, Taylor Young,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Biddison. All of them came up. The only one we haven't seen, and you know who I'm about to mention because he's been my favorite guy from the draft that I see is Logan Wagner.
Right.
And
He
he's
did,
still and he's still there and he's still in Arizona.
but he did get activated.
That too.
So he
But
has
I
been
would have thought he would have
activated.
been here.
But he should get a call up. But I wonder if there's a pitcher from the draft that if they decided to call up Jeffrey or Ibarra, that they could then replace with, because that's what they're going to have to do. Oh, I mean, and they have to figure out which team has the best chance of winning.
Right.
Um, and there also could be, I mean, because the drillers, they could also pull someone back down. Maybe they pull DePaula back when the postseason happens. I don't know. That would kind of suck, but I could see that happening. Kind of stack the team a little bit. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm just thinking like who would be the call ups or who would stay on that team. But I mean, by the way it looks, it just seems like right now the Rancho's gonna stick with whatever they got now and ride it out till the end of the season.
yeah, and there are still more guys in Arizona. I mean,
Well, that
even
is true.
let's just say that they wanted to bring up Luis, which I think would be
Right.
a really good call. We still got Samuel Munoz,
Yeah, right, the lefty.
right? And then, like you said, we got Logan Wagner. If they want to pull up Izara or Donkey, they really, again, the guys that were there last year specifically should get the call up first.
Well, I thought when Donkey got put on the injury list, I thought Logan was probably going to come to put him in another infielder.
Yeah,
So that was my thought, but I guess not. I guess Logan probably still not ready, maybe. But I mean,
yeah,
I thought he would have been up here already since mid-season.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what it was hurt. Let's see. Oh, this is a good idea. Wouldn't mind the Dodgers MILB Player of the Year, Austin Gauthier, back in Great Lakes for the postseason. Let's give some props to Austin, man. Austin
That guy
Gauthier,
has that guy has
dude,
been turning it up all season consistently.
undrafted, free agent, 2021. I met him 2022 spring training. Just started talking to him. Hadn't even heard who he was. I missed him and all that type of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then he shows up at Rancho, gets promoted to the Great Lakes. Now he's in Double A and playing all the time, playing all over the ball field. Amazing. And then, okay, saying Kendall George did pretty good in the DSL. And remember, Kendall George on the 20/80 scale for speed is a 95. That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
I saw him run yesterday, and he is pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. And another, Ricky Vanasco gonna get a shot. I don't know. It's a good question. I know the Dodgers. I didn't like giving up Luis Valdez. I gotta be honest with you. I like that guy a lot.
Nobody did like that trade.
Man, but Vanasco. I think they must like something, but I know they DFA'd him, and he came back. So I think he's a guy that obviously he's a Dodger project. It's that whole Mark Pryor pitching lab with 100 different PhDs working in there to try to make these guys better, and
Right.
and just like with Madison Jeffrey, it might just be a simple little tweak that needs to be made, and they
Could
figure
be.
it out. And with Lance Lynn, I think it's just been pitch mix.
It was Pixmitch because remember when he was in Chicago, they kind of like gave that little grade scale or the percentage of what it was his pitches being used, and
Yeah,
they eliminated the cutter.
yeah. I mean, White Sox, what a mess. They only fired those guys like 2 years too late.
Yeah,
And what a just a crap show, man. Um, Grandal being one of the problems over there. It sounded like too. Um,
then again, you got Tim Anderson, so it can't just all be Grandal.
no, of course not. They got issues, and Anderson's got to worry about how to defend himself a little bit better.
How to keep his hands up.
Oh, let's see. Okay, talk about Austin Gator is doing something nobody else is doing in all MLB. Only 20 others have done it since 2006. 500 plate appearances, which is pretty big in MLB. It
Right.
sells more walks than Ks, and 150 plus WRC plus. Holy smokes! For
That is
an
true.
undrafted free agent.
Well, only held
That
him back, and it just sucks to me say this honestly, but the only reason why I feel like he's being overshadowed is because remember who we also have at second base, but he's not in AAA though.
wait, do you think about Jorbit?
Yeah. So really think about
But
it.
he's
He's
in
getting
triple. He get promoted though, didn't he?
he did, but that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
before that, though, he was being overshadowed by Jorvit.
yeah, yeah. I remember going through this stuff like I do sometimes with this group, where Gauthier is playing right field.
Yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Austin has been putting up numbers that are just crazy right now at this moment. And the way he's playing, I mean, it may seem that he may be going to AAA next season and probably battle it out with Jorbit if
I,
Jorbit doesn't get called up to MLB.
I'm gonna make a prediction, especially since the Drillers aren't going anywhere, that Austin goes to AAA for the postseason.
I wouldn't doubt that either.
That'd be well deserved. I mean, they're gonna load their team up as much as they can. Um, and shoot, because the Dodgers have to save those Pepio and Stone bullets for MLB.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
because we don't, starting pitching, as we know, is so delicate. Um, all these guys are just one away. um, yeah, so Gator is adding versatility to his game. Yeah, he is. I mean, the guy. Well, good thing is he's a shortstop, but I saw him play all over the field last year, and now he's playing even in the outfield. So very high probability big leaguer. Yes, I agree. So awesome. Just the nicest guy. Um, and there's those things where you're just happy for some of these guys. Well, you're happy for any of these guys that make it forward, but to see guys come from nowhere. He was a 4-year guy from Hofstra, right? It was Hofstra, an undrafted free agent. So he went 20 rounds without being selected. Oh, we lost Trinidad again. His phone must have fried again. Um, let's see. Okay. But yeah, we've got These guys coming through. For me, Vivas getting promoted was definitely a proud moment. I think I've shared this with some of you. I'm friends with Romero Cuadrado. I do that whole adopt a minor leaguer thing, and then I was taking him out to dinner. A couple guys went along with us, and we went to Chipotle, of course, and one of the guys was Vladimir Chalo, and the other guy was Yorbit Vivas, and so Yorbit has been and both those guys, they all treat me so well, but Yorbit, every time I see him, comes up, gives me a big hug, just the nicest kid, and you just can't help but root for him. And I saw Chalo got a hit today too in Double A, so that's good. Let's see. Also, just know how good he has been. Yep, he's been batting leadoff once he got to Tulsa ahead of everyone in that stacked lineup. Yeah, I mean, I think, as we all know, first round draft picks and all that, top few picks, they get preference as things start. But there's always room for guys to earn it, and we're seeing that with Austin Gauthier, and we'll see it with more. They're not going to hold a guy back. Just because there's, long term. Now we've seen short term where, like last year in the playoffs, they played Justin Turner and Chris Taylor, and they had no business even being on the roster because they were so hurt. But they played them. But long term, we see guys that if they get a chance, Outman's a great example. They believe in him, but they didn't always believe in him, I don't think. He learned how to hit self-described caveman swing, and that's gone now. Let's see. So the Dodgers are going to let Gauthier go, do his thing, and so they don't have to protect him this year or after 2023, but after 2024 he does need to be protected. But he's moved up fast. I mean, 2021 he played ACL, so first that's good. But then 2022, and he's older, because he was a 4-year. He played half the year, a little more than half the year at Rancho, then made it to High A. So by the end of his first full professional year, he was at High A, and then mid-year this year, he made it to Double A. So he's actually really on a pretty aggressive schedule, but that's all earned. It's not because, he's this hot prospect and he's number one or he was a first-round pick or anything like that. No, the dude has earned it, and the Dodgers they've let him earn it. They see something in him, and now they're being rewarded for that. Hopefully Trinidad dials back in, but if you got a poo phone that's just dying on you, what can you do? Yep, yeah, it's been overheating. That's happened to me too. The worst time it ever happened to me. I'm at Dodger Stadium, 2022. It's Bobby Miller's debut against the Angels in that exhibition game, and I go down to the field. It's my first time with the media pass there. Ready to do some video, get some live stuff and all that, and my phone overheated. Yeah, and so I go, let me go whip out my Nikon. So I got my Nikon around me, pull that up, battery's dead. My other battery was upstairs. Okay, Trinidad's jumping back on. My other battery was way up in the press box. I wasn't gonna leave. That would have taken me a lot of time. So I ended up doing some work with this thing called the 360, and ended up doing my interview with Devin Mann and Miguel Vargas. You can see it on there. It's with this 360 product, which it worked out. Yeah. So things happen, and that's part of the thing. And what I learned from that, I told my former boss at Dodgers Nation, Gary Lee, about that, and he just said, ABC, my man, always be charging. So I always have 2 batteries. I make sure when I go down to the field that I have backup, since I'm a backpack. of every device. I've usually got two cameras with me, and then other devices. I try to get as much as I can. When I get these opportunities to go to Dodger Stadium, I try to get as much as I can, and I haven't even let all of it out. And that, maybe I'll do some of that during the off season. I know I'm even behind on pictures and videos for the season from Rancho. I got a lot of swings and a lot of pitching mechanics, but it takes time to build that stuff up. But during the off season, I'll keep adding those things. Those things won't be changing much. I have captured some good hits. There's with Rancho, there's been some really, I think, some fun players this year. Lorenzo being kind of the top one that I look at from the beginning, and being really happy that he was on that team and seeing him hit the ball like he does. He's fun to watch. But he's better, self-admitted, he's a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. Is Vivas another Andres Jimenez? I don't know enough about Jimenez. I know that Vivas is not a shortstop. We get him. There he is. Yeah, Vivas is primarily going to be a second baseman or a third baseman. I think he would like to play shortstop, but I don't think that's him. There he is.
Sorry, guys.
Vivas. We were talking about Vivas a little bit, and so Vivas also could be an outfielder. What Vivas brings is that what was that guy with the White Sox a long time ago? Ray Durham, the second baseman.
Oh yeah,
kind of
right.
Not the tallest guy, but brings some pop. And I think
I can see that.
Yep. And so I think Vivas is gonna, when he comes to the major leagues, I'm gonna say a 280 to 290 hitter. I'm gonna say 15 dongs. He just needs to keep improving his defense. But I think it's been getting better, and if he can play third, to be even better, provide that versatility. And I think if you look at the Dodgers right now, I mean, their bench is really good. And one of the advantages of that bench is, let's talk about, we haven't talked about this at all, Trinidad, but, Ahmed, sorry, and Kiki Hernandez, man, they bring so much versatility now to that team. That bench was weak at the beginning of the year. Now it's strong.
Now we don't just have to rely on Chris Taylor playing everything.
Exactly, and CT3 made a nice. He was starting to really get good in that against that green monster out there. He played probably was a double, but turned it into a single.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Sal, my man's up. Hey Sal, do the Dodgers bring Miller, Papio, Stone, and Sheehan into the postseason? I think definitely Miller. Papio, when we talked about this, that's a fresh arm.
Could be, but how is he going to be reliable during the postseason? He hasn't had that many innings pitched.
Yeah, and it's also, it's a different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, here, this is a good point from Austin Brubaker. I think Vivas' play discipline will get him in the big leagues. Yeah, I like his swing. It's just fun to watch him hit. If he can hit for modest power, I think he gets increased playing time. He's got sneaky pop. Yeah, he does. I like it. I like watching him hit. One of my favorite guys to watch hit in 2021.
It's very sneaky, but also he's a gap-to-gap guy. It looks like he's never going to be someone to put the ball in the air. It's more of a line drive kind of swing.
Yeah, but it'll go to the wall sometimes. All right. I mean.
Oh yeah.
He definitely, sneaky pop is a good way to say it, and that's why I think 15 home runs is not Luis Arias clone. I don't know about that, because Arias is that dude. Just he's an old school guy.
Swinging at the first pitch 100% of the time.
Vivas, if you look at his swing, there's a definite. He's got some uppercut into it.
Oh yeah.
And so he's not. Even though I think with his eye and like the plate discipline, if they wanted him to do that, I think he could. I just don't think the Dodgers want guys to be singles hitters. Um,
Mm.
I think they really value that pop. I tell you though, we brought him up briefly. Watching Freddie Freeman hit the ball and going all over the place. I really enjoy it. I know people love home runs, and I do too, especially when the Dodgers hit them. But I really like hitting a left-handed hitter, hitting a double to left center like Freddie does or Seager used to do for us. Or
Well, the thing is with Freeman and Corey Seager swing, the way they make contact, it just seems like they're going the old school way, how you're supposed to be taught.
Yeah.
Go the other way, the way where the fielders are not at. Yep. Things like that.
Well, even today was interesting with Mookie Betts. His last at bat, where his last RBI was a single to right center.
Right.
Speaking of Mookie Betts, I just want to talk about him for a little bit because I just think he's awesome. I highly recommend his show on Bleacher Report. So he's so good. For a guy, he's good at everything, right? But this guy, and I don't get into the MVP stuff too much, but he is the MVP. I mean,
yeah, they were talking about it today as far as when it comes to if he took over the possession of the MVP award already.
I mean, is Acuna playing second base? Is he playing shortstop?
I mean, we all know Acuna's only getting talked about because of the steals and the home runs. If he's going to be another 30-30 guy or a 40-40 guy.
I mean, Mookie's maybe 5'9". I mean, even watching his interview with Kirsten today. I mean, he's looking way up at her. He needed that bucket like Kike did with that young lady a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
He took a lot of heat for it, but Mookie he's amazing. And I got to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to be in that locker room on Wednesday, and I'm going to really appreciate because it's next year's going to be rough with Shohei if they get Shohei because the Japanese they're going to get all those extra things. But so I'm going to really appreciate it. I'm going to be in the same locker room on Wednesday as 3 Hall of Famers at least, with Clayton and Mookie and Freddie. I think they're all Hall of Famers, and Dave Roberts too, right? I think Dave, once the Dodgers finally win a couple more World Series, he's a Hall of Famer. And then there's some other guys that could be there, but I got to really appreciate that and just kind of observe a little bit more. Okay, Sal was asking again about those pitchers, and he had a follow-up. So will it be starters or relievers? I do think Miller starts. I think
Miller starts depending on how the rotation goes in the postseason.
Yeah, I think Pepio, he's done well being the bulk guy, and Stone was good today as a bulk guy. So it's kind of interesting how they're working those guys, and then Sheehan, I could see him as a 1-inning reliever and just coming in probably throwing 100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
because if you really think about it, who's going to be in our bullpen though? Like if you're really going to go deep in, then who we're bringing into the postseason, like you already know Yarbrough is going to be in the bullpen. Because he's going to be a long-inning guy.
Right. And then Blake Trinan's out there, man.
Yeah, but then again, too, they're saying how will he come back?
So far, so good.
But remember what happened last season.
I know. But, what was it, guy? What's that guy? Was it David Rosenthal when on Twitter? He'd always, when Blake would come in and do something, he'd have like this thing of trying it in the weeds or something like that, just kind of lurking. And I think he lurks, and I think that he is a possibility. I think it sounds like Hudson isn't going to be in there, so we definitely got Evan Phillips, Bruce Dar, Brazier, right? I mean, geez, Louise.
Right? Yeah, he's been really good too as well.
Yeah, Vesius will probably make it. Caleb probably makes it.
Joe Kelly might be out. Still doesn't seem he's getting any healthy right now.
Yeah, not yet. I'm just hoping, I'm hoping for a rehab thing for him at Rancho, because dude, I don't care if I have to work. I'm going.
Well,
I
then we also have the Walker Bueller. Maybe he's gonna get.
yeah, he still hasn't had a rehab start either, though. Um, that would be cool in Rancho, also, wouldn't it? Let's be
Yep.
honest. Let's be honest. Let's get selfish for a minute. Um, there's a lot of options for that bullpen, and
Oh yeah.
and they only need four stars, like we talked about. So right now they're rolling out with five guys, and that includes Yarbrough in the bullpen. So um, I know I'm going to call Pepio the fifth starter for right now, even though he's doing the bulk work. I think he's kind of the fifth starter right now, and I expect to see him start this week. But you never know. Maybe it's Stone too. I mean, it's good to have. It's a good problem to have compared to where Stone was at the beginning of the year, and Pepio being hurt. Sheehan's definitely a possibility.
I mean, one thing that I know for a fact, though, it just came to my mind right now, actually, with Bobby Miller. What if the Dodgers try to do what they did with Kenta Maeda?
Yeah, I
Throw him in
know.
the bullpen.
I just saw that the Twins were looking at making Maeda a reliever during the postseason. I was like, yeah, that's where
Yeah,
he's
I mean, he was
best.
lights out. Yeah, that. I mean,
Yeah,
remember? 2017 bullpen. I mean, Kenta Maeda in the bullpen that year was lights out.
yeah. To be honest, Maeda is not a playoff caliber pitcher. Starter,
No, yeah, starter
reliever,
no.
reliever. He's got the extra gear, so he's throwing
Oh
a
yeah,
few, a little faster, and yeah. If Miller was a reliever, oh my gosh. Thing is, has he ever done it? You don't want to. If you're gonna do it, you got
that's
to
a good
do it
question.
now. You got to do it now. Because Bueller, remember last year, they tried to make Bueller a reliever in 2017, and it failed.
I remember that. That was his rookie, well, somewhat rookie season.
Mm-hmm. I was actually at his debut. For he just got in the game against the Rockies as a reliever, and he did fine there. But that was like his only decent start or decent appearance. The rest of them just weren't very good. It's a different mindset, different prep.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, what's his name even said it too. Julio even said it at one point. This is
Yep.
your routine is not the same as when you are a starter.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about Miller, Pepio, Stone, and Sheehan, I think the only guy that I could see as a short guy would be Sheehan.
Oh yeah,
Maybe. Because I think Pepio and Stone, when they're doing the bulk work, they're preparing like it's a start. They're preparing to go, 5, 6, 7 innings
right.
versus, hey, come in, get hot within 8 pitches, and be ready to go and throw and top your starting velocity by a couple of miles per hour. Um, that's kind of what I see there. Let's see. I don't think Julio is going to be as reliable as he was in 2020, and I agree. I hope I'm wrong. I think the only way you're going to be right, well, you're going to be wrong if he only starts at home because he's been really good at home. On the road, he's trash, straight up. Julio, I don't know what it is. There's something mental going on with him. I think the pressure, man, the
It's
Boris
pressure,
pressure.
and also too that this final season of his, I mean, going into free agency. So
Yeah, and Doug McCain had something on his podcast the other day that he had heard that he doesn't think that Julio's coming back next year. And I think
probably not.
it's probably because they're not going to give him an 8-year contract.
I mean, realistically, let's speak about that at this point. I mean, as much as I would love to have Julio, I mean, his numbers and yeah, the way it just shows is he's not going to get 8 years.
No. Well, now with the Dodgers, that's for sure.
I mean, at this point, he's going to have to if he's going to want to stay, he's going to have to take whatever Dodgers offer him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think that I think there's a stupid team about 100 miles south of Los
Yep.
Angeles that's probably going to go bonkers over them.
Oh
And
yeah, you already know the reason they'll do it is just to throw it in the Dodgers' face.
which is a terrible way to do business.
Yeah.
If you notice one thing the Dodgers do or don't do, they don't react to other teams most of the time. So
Oh
if
yeah, they
the
don't.
yeah, so the Padres went crazy this offseason. What did the Dodgers do? JD
Sorry,
Martinez for a year.
1 year deals.
Yeah, Syndergaard, who he got DFA'd today. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
actually. I did not know that.
yeah, and they were going to pick up some relievers and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we're
I mean,
gonna
we got David Peralta.
yeah, they got David Peralta and Jason Hayward, and man, those. The end of the day, I know I love to be the couch GM. I love to be a couch
Oh yeah,
manager too, but I love being a couch GM. That's one of the reasons I like doing this thing because we get to talk as couch GMs. But man, our Dodgers, man, they're just so freaking good. They're just so good at what they do. Um, I just what I try to do sometimes is just try to think what's Friedman, what's Gomes gonna do, and
right.
they don't panic, and I mean, come on, because it's just fun for me being here in San Diego, talking about the Padres. Why the heck Did they sign you Darvish to like a 5-year extension after this season?
That is true. I
and,
do remember them doing that actually.
and he's been bad this year. The only time he's ever good is against the
Right.
Dodgers. And then Cronenworth, who is a nice player. I would like him on my team, but he's a nice player. They gave him despite the fact he's not a free agent till after 2025, 7 years, $80 million. And he's 30 years old.
Is he 30 years old? I
Yes.
did not. I did not see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So he
I mean, they never renegotiated Manny Machado's contract.
oh yeah, they kind of had to, but now Machado, he's not having a great year.
Um,
He's not having a Machado year at all, not even close.
and I mean, really think about what the Padres. I mean, I don't know if you've been following their transaction stuff, but if you noticed, they've already been calling up that 17-year-old kid pretty fast. Now he's in
Mhm.
Double A,
And he
so
didn't
they're
even and he didn't even do well in high A.
so that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing, but they're rushing him too really fast.
And they're also talking about the kid Jackson Merrill possibly debuting in September.
Yeah, I think it's a little too quick though for that.
It would be. And why start the clock?
I mean, if you really think about it, what are they going to do with Kim then? DFA him next?
Jeez. I know what they should do with Kim. Send him to the Dodgers. I'll take that guy.
I mean, he's been consistent. I mean, even last season when Tatis had the ringworm, as you want to call it, he took over sole possession of that shortstop position. He
Mhm.
did really well for them.
Yeah, I mean the guy he's a platinum glove type guy.
Oh yeah,
He is so good out there, and he's become a better hitter. Um, but it's just I track him more than I should because it's just funny. And
no, yeah,
being down here, everyone's got their ugly, you got their brown things, or they got their Miami Vice looking City Connect uniforms. I mean,
oh
these
the Neapolitan shake jerseys.
there you go, Neapolitan. That's good, man. Freaking gelato looking things. I mean, they're hideous. And and then we got our Dodger gear, and it's beautiful. I mean, Mookie and Kike were talking about that during their interview. Um,
Oh yeah,
about
the
the
Dodger jersey are
Dodger
the best
uniform.
one in baseball.
Yeah, they're right. It's top two, top three. Um, I say number one. And again, watch that one. There's a hilarious story in there from the 2020 playoffs where Kike had a real
Oh,
crisis.
I think I know what you're talking.
He had
Yeah,
he had a real crisis. Yeah, it was. It's. I love Kike. I'm glad he's back. I know he's not the greatest player, but he's a pretty darn good player, and I think he's going to play a big role in this team. Let's never forget he hit the game-tying home run in that Game 7 against the Braves, and then of course
Yep.
broke Cody's shoulder after that. But that's just
Yeah,
Cody.
literally.
Cody shouldn't have been doing that himself. But um, Kike's a proven dude. And Sal, did you see that? I think he's saying poor Kike. Yeah. Um, it was hilarious. And the funny thing about Kike, he just wears stuff, man. He just goes, "Yep, I did it," and he calls himself a little. He's a disruptor. Tries
Oh
to
yeah.
break the ice of things and stuff. But I'm glad he's back because the team became so much more versatile with him out there.
Right.
Yeah, Sal did see it. Yep. And then with Rosario, he's looked really good at second base.
Well, the thing with Rosario too now, it just seems like I don't want to say he's more comfortable, but he's more well, not just as far as coming, but he's more himself now. If you really notice it,
Mm-hmm.
now he's playing the game the way he should be.
Yeah.
Because even when he was in Cleveland, it wasn't that he was a bad player. It's just nobody in the lineup really. He didn't have anybody to protect him other than Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. And he's, and also, this clubhouse, um, just the Miggy Rowe, and then Peralta, of course, Hayward, Mookie, and then you start adding a guy like Rosario, who, like I say, he's a top of the step guy, right? He's out
Right.
there at the top step. And Kike, of course, um, along with Austin Barnes, who will kill people. Um, you know, there's a really good mix of human beings there that wasn't there last year. There was not a lot of leadership. There was one guy that would be technically called the leader, but Mookie this year has stepped it up. I think Mookie's numbers, I'm surprised people aren't going, why is Mookie doing a podcast? Isn't that interrupting his season? If you look, though, he started that podcast like 2 months ago. What's he done in the last 2 months on the baseball field?
Yeah, he's been tearing it up.
He's crushing it. He is absolutely crushing it. Um, yeah. So I mean, I like the mix of the players. It's one of my favorite. It's definitely one of my favorite teams in terms of all the personalities. Um, and even a guy like Outman, he fits in.
Right.
He's smart enough to listen to a guy like Hayward and a guy like Mookie. Um, he's a learner, and so guys like that want to learn, I think they're invaluable. Um, yeah, and then you know Lance Lynn, he wants the ball.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'll give it to him though because I mean he was never a terrible pitcher. It was just his pitch mix that was
Yeah,
messing him up a little bit.
yeah,
But now it just seems like he's just fighting. He's literally fighting every pitch he throws now to a hitter.
yeah. I think really the only thing that to be concerned about is the bombs. You just gotta there. It's gotta go down a little bit, or the playoffs might not be so fun.
Oh
um,
yeah,
but I think at the same time, the Dodgers are gonna have a strategy for these things. They might just go. I can imagine, let's say Game 3, where they go, oh, we're gonna do that thing where, especially if they're up 2-0, like you said, we're gonna start Miller, and he's gonna go one time through the order. Then we're gonna go Yarbrough, and he's gonna go one time through the order. Or you do it with Lynn, just go boom, 9-9, and then the last three of the bullpen, right? Just to go beat the snot out of them. So you get 3 innings out of each of those guys. Um, and who knows? I mean, the variety of pitchers is interesting. I think Miller and Lynn in some ways is like a little similar. Of course, Miller throws a bit harder, but you're getting fastballs, a lot of hard stuff. Like Les Trinidad again. But yeah, it's just good stuff that's coming out of those guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they end up doing in the playoffs. I think the Dodgers will play some of these things pretty smart. I just hope that they play it right. I know that I think they had made a mistake. I think it was a 2018 World Series where they There was a guy. Gosh, there was a dude. They should have started. Oh, it was Ryu. They should have started Rich Hill in Boston instead of Ryu, because Rich Hill had pitched there before. He knew how to do it. And then they went with Bueller, who pitched a historic game. And then they could have went with Ryu in Game 4. They might have changed things. Ryu is or Rue Moreland. I just say Ryu because that's what I'm used to. You go with what guys are good at, and Ryu had been really good at home, and I think that does matter, and I think even more in the playoffs. I think Julio is not quite who he was. He has his moments, and at home he's really good. So I would I'd take that. I'd rather go with anybody else but Julio on the road. But if it's at home, and it's a game that matters, I want Julio on the mound if it's at home, just not on the road. Let's see. So I think I'm going to end the show in a minute. I got to go back to work this week. Had a week off. Still recovering from the trip. I had a headache for about 8 hours today. Finally went away. But very exciting times for the Dodgers. Again, watch our little Kendall George interview. It's a little short and sweet. And then definitely take a look at Mookie Betts' stuff. So you have a good night, man. And then I will have some content when I'm out there at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday, and may have something over the next night or two. We'll see. Yeah, it's all right. So yeah, Trinidad's phone keeps acting up. You got to do the laptop, man. I'll just say no worries. Ending the show. But I hope you guys like that format with Trinidad. I think it's kind of fun. I think it helps spur the conversation between him and I, or him and Alex, or myself and Alex. I might try 3 at some point, but then it becomes a lot of chatter. But I appreciate you guys, of course, the chat. As always, the star of the show with the great questions. I really appreciate them. You guys drive the show. You drive the content. If there's any ideas, I appreciate the feedback. Hopefully the website's been useful to you guys, especially to look at the transactions. You can just go to the upper left-hand corner of the website, and you'll see the transactions link. Go to that. You can see what's going on with all the minor league transactions. That's my favorite page. I always am going to that page. Just to see what's going on. But yeah, playoffs start pretty soon for our minor leaguers. Dodgers got about 5 weeks left of the season. Got 2 guys going for MVP. Really no Cy Young guys. That's okay. Kershaw, his injury didn't help. And maybe Outman can finish top 3 rookie of the year. But most importantly, the Dodgers are lining themselves up to really, I think, to go for a big run this year. I want to go to a parade in Los Angeles. And I think the rest of you guys do too, or at least want to see it if you're not around there. But let's hope we can meet on some Friday on Figueroa or somewhere out there near Union Station in early November. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. And as always, I appreciate you. And we will see you on our next broadcast, whenever that may be. Thanks you. Thank you very much. And I appreciate y'all. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.